What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chaotic Minds. As always, it is Winged,
And a midget.
and we took last week off just because we were not feeling right.
This back thing that I've got going on, being in the hospital and then getting home and then just trying to figure out a sleep schedule.
Yeah, insomnia is a bitch.
Between insomnia and the fact that I can only function if I have heat on my back, but then I get overheated and can't have heat on my back, and menopause and back problems where you have to have heat do not mix.
Yeah, no, they really don't. But as it is the end of the month, we are doing Reddit stories. Yay! However,
we are doing a twist.
We are definitely doing a twist on things. The twist today being we are not reading Am I the Asshole? So all those who are ready to make judgment calls on people for being assholes, we're not doing that right now.
We can still judge people, just not as an asshole.
Correct. We are instead doing something that you have been asking me to do for a while now, which is
Malicious Compliance.
I do love me some good malicious compliance every once in a while.
This first one's a doozy because it kind of ties in with our job, so we can kind of give our points of view on it afterwards, and this would be a nice one to kind of expand on. That's why I chose to do this one first.
Fair. Maybe next time take a breath.
Maybe. That's the problem with these meds that I'm on. I'm telling you, like, I get really jittery on one of them, and my voice is kind of shaky. So if I stumble or I have to pause and take a breath for a second, it's because I can't get words out. And then otherwise they start sounding like, my name Naomi.
My name Jeff. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
My name Jeff.
Anyways. On with the first story.
Okay, so it says can't carry overtime to next year. Okay, that works.
Overtime? No,
can't carry over, time.
Oh.
Till next year. Okay,
gotcha.
That works. That response right there, okay, that works, is a you response.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just say that.
I've used it before.
Okay, it says I worked at a company that had a lot of people that had worked a long time there. It was pretty common for new chemistry or chemical engineering grads to come in as their first job after college. At 20 years, they get 6 weeks, 30 freaking days of vacation. What? I want to go work there.
Well, 6 weeks, so they're doing it, the 6 weeks, 30 days, that's
5-day work weeks.
Yeah.
Some people like to work and simply rolled vacation days into the next year. The max you could ever carry over was 45 days. Okay. At some point, some bean counter figured out that the 45 days were a liability to the company. If you're selling a chunk of company off and those people have 6 weeks of vacation and another 9 weeks in the bank, that's 15 weeks of time that the new owner could be on the hook for. So they decided and put out a proclamation that there would be no carryover from one year to the next anymore. Much unhappiness swept through the company. Lots of people tried to plan how they were going to use it. One of the key people I worked with came up in October and said that they're going on vacation and how much they liked working with me, which was kind of odd. So I pressed a little on why this sounded like a forever goodbye, not a see you in a week. So I got told, under strict confidence, that they had found a new job. The new job started in 2 weeks. They had enough vacation days to cover them till January 1st, and the next year's vacation and holidays covered the first 2 months of the following year. So they were done. I wished them well, and they were gone. But they were not as good as I am in keeping secrets. There were suddenly a number of key people. There were suddenly a number of key people, also with 6 weeks vacation and a large vacation bank, that were gone. Lots of unhappy people in HR. HR could not say no to the closeout vacation since they had decreed the rollover freeze. But HR decreed you must return to work to be able to collect the vacation in the next year. Turns out that most people got jobs in very cool companies. They all scheduled a vacation day so they could come back to work for a day. They came back in mass. Coworkers scheduled them all into meetings so they had things to do on the day. It was mostly a party day with an all-day food fest. As an added bonus, senior management had indeed planned to split off a division, and the sale fell through because of all the people that had bailed out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
So the thing with it is if you leave the company on good terms, you get paid all of your vacation days. I don't know if you get paid all of your sick days, but I know you get paid all of the days that you earned. So I can understand why they would go ahead and come back for a day of work after they just took, some of their vacation time at the rollover when it was supposed to roll over, and it's more of a reset.
See, the thing is what a lot of companies are struggling to remember. It's the fact that they don't do sick time anymore. It's all PTO.
Well, there are still companies that do sick time, like have dedicated time. Like this is the days that you use when you're sick. These are the days that you use for when you want to go on vacation, or you need to, not be here for insert whatever reason, right? I know my last job before the security job that we're at, went ahead and changed how things ran and took your sick time and your vacation time and merged it together, and just you had a bank of PTO that you could use. I also remember when I was working for the auto parts store, that I had gotten capped for my vacation time suddenly. And
that's because they never let you take a freaking vacation day.
Oh, yeah. And when I said something to them about it, it's like, okay, well, if I didn't use it, then you need to pay me for it. Well, we don't do that. We don't pay people out. Okay. Well, then I'm putting in for 2 weeks of vacation. Oh, you can't do that. So I either use my vacation days, which you're not allowing me to, or I lose my vacation days and I don't get paid for what I lost. And their only response was, yeah, that's how we have to do things right now.
Or they capped you out on how many vacation days you could take at once.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well then why is the store manager taking 2 weeks off? This store manager taking 2 weeks off and our store manager taking 2 weeks off.
The district manager taking a month off.
Why is that okay? Why is that allowed? But me, who's helping run the store on a daily basis and dealing with customers and making sure inventory is getting done and all this, that, and the other thing, why am I not allowed to take vacation time? Well, you were deemed that, it was deemed that you were too important to be allowed to have that much time off. You're a really valuable asset. Then pay me. Give me the promotion that I've been looking for. Well, I mean, the other employees don't trust you. That's not up to them. That's up to you. So give me the promotion I'm looking for, that I've earned, or let me take these vacation days.
The promotion you promised me in order to have me move to this store.
Yeah. It was...
That's why I wanted to do this one first, because it's like we've both been in companies, worked for companies where that's been a thing.
Yeah.
Where they wouldn't let you take X amount of vacation days because they didn't have anybody to cover, or they were short-staffed as it was.
Or if you did take those vacation days,
yeah,
you got punished for taking vacation days.
yeah, and it's just like,
and they either punished
how about
you by
I'm taking it anyway.
They either punished you by overworking you, or they punished you by taking hours away.
And that was my problem. I came back from vacation. I worked a day and didn't work another day for like almost a week.
Yeah.
I mean, we've both been on both sides of the spectrum where they would punish us by overworking us and underworking us. Like,
oh, I got the overworked part. Like anytime that I took vacation at the auto parts store, I got overworked. Like they scheduled me 6 days a week.
You out.
Or they would schedule me at, for boomerang shifts, otherwise known as clopins, on a daily basis, and like if I would close one day and open the next day I would have to come in at mid shift, and then the day after that I'd have to close and then open, and it's like I had no time to get any sort of rest.
Do this thing called sleep.
Yeah. So it's just like I've been there. There's a reason why a lot of people are like, there's a lot of people of the older generation that are like, well, you young folks don't want to work anymore. It's like, no, we want to work. We just know our value.
So remember when I was working at the hospital out in Aurora?
Yeah.
And I took those 3 days off because one of the kids had a concert, and it was on my schedule was weird because I had the day off, one day off, and then I worked one day, and then I had another day off. But the day I worked was the day of the concert, so I had to take that day off. So I had 3 days off in a row. I came back, and I had a rotating schedule where I would be mornings, and then I'd have for 3 days because we worked 12.5-hour shifts. Yeah. And then I'd have a day off, and then I'd do overnights, and then I'd have 2 days off. So when I came back from that 3 days off, I worked a morning shift, and then mysteriously the overnight person called out sick, and nobody else could come in. Yeah. Therefore, because of my job, I had to stay. I worked for 36 straight hours.
Yep.
I was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Because they punished me for taking a day off in between my 2 days off because I had a child that was having a concert. And then the person who called out got told to call out, and they got a free vacation day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was pissed. I almost walked out at the 18-hour mark. I was halfway through that bullshit, and I was like, I will murder someone if they touch me. I will murder someone if they talk to me.
And you came home that night.
Yep.
And passed out.
I passed out for a good day and a half.
Yep.
And then I called out that night.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Yep. Payback's a bitch, Casey.
Anyways.
That's not her real name.
I kind of figured.
But no, it's like, yeah, you either get punished and overworked, or you get punished and you don't get hours at all.
Yep.
So it's just ridiculous.
Or you get attitude from everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Because, well, how dare you? I haven't taken a day off in 3 years. Whose fault is that?
My buddy Jody had the same thing happen to her at the same hospital.
Yeah. It's like, whose fault is that? It's not my fault that you refuse to take time off. Well, I mean, when it comes, that's just showing how committed you are. You think I come here because I like being here and away from everybody?
Yeah, committed. AKA, you need to be committed.
It's like, I come here to make money. And that's it.
I don't like you people enough to hang out with you for 36 hours.
Yeah. Like there were times where like everybody at the auto parts store was like, "Hey, we're gonna go out and grab a drink. You want to come with?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, it was bad because the nurses knew I was being screwed in that whole 36-hour shift. So they were literally taking some of my med passes and giving them so that I could take a quick 30-minute power nap.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I was not making it. There was no way.
On to the next one, if you would please.
Dun,
Since
dun,
you are
dun.
in control of this out of control ship.
Yeah. So this one is titled Tell Me Now. This one should be short and sweet. I teach during the school year and supplement my understandably shitty income with various jobs, grocery cashier at your Arizona hometown grocer. Every day I encounter at least 10 customers who are less than pleasant, but we manage to get through the transaction unscathed. Today was a day like no other. My job is to make the customer's experience a pleasant one as they spend their money, putting food on my table. I don't take that for granted, promise. I appreciate even the a-hole customers. But this particular lady devoured every morsel of my patience. She started with an, "Oh, you are open," followed by a harshly yelled, "Don't bag any of my things." Oh, that would have gotten me in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I acknowledged the statement, then asked her for her phone number is what I'm assuming it's supposed to be,
Okay.
for her savings card. She interrupted me before I could get anything out by saying, "I said don't bag them," when I clearly was just setting them aside. I started to ask her again when she interrupted me the second I spoke by saying, "You know what? Go ahead and bag them in paper and in plastic." Okay, fine. No problem. But man, I need to get this lady's number for her savings. What am I going to do? I decided to give some grace here. I asked her one more time with as much syrupy sweetness as a 47-year-old man can muster. "Ma'am, can I get your savings number?" Right then she spat out at me, "What's my total?" I tried to tell her that without the savings card she'd be paying $85 more than she originally intended. It was super clear she was shopping for the digital sales because that's all she got. Bags of chips that somehow need to be bagged in paper and plastic on sale for 60% off. I have no idea. Then Coke 12 packs that were buy two, get three free. 4 iterations of them. But no. She wouldn't let me talk. She saw that I was done scanning and repeatedly and indignantly demanded for me to tell her the total. I didn't want to lie to her and say it was the price it should have been with the sale when it wasn't, but I didn't want to indicate to her that clearly the price was wrong. She said, "Tell me my total now." So, enter Malicious Compliance. I told her the total was $296.37 with that sweet tone that the price was so good. I don't know if she was flustered because of how hot and heavy she was about it. Well, everything. But she went right along handing me $300 and I gave her a change. Handed her the receipt, and as soon as her and her friend walked towards the exit, they started to scan the receipt slowly as they trotted out. She shook her fist at the sunset. I guarantee there will be an update to follow.
Is there?
No, not that I'm seeing. I'm looking.
See, that is one of my biggest, like, I always give grace to the people who are doing checkouts at grocery stores or at any store where it's like, "Hey, do you have a rewards number with us?" You know, because they have to deal with that shit every day. And they're just trying to do their job. And some of them are actually trying to save you money because if you don't have your rewards number, you don't get certain perks.
And some of them are these poor teenagers with their first job. Give them a freaking break, guys.
You know, but I always made sure that when I was working at the auto parts store, because we had a rewards program, that I was like, hey, just letting you know, if you put in your phone number, you're going to save some money. And putting it like that is just like, oh, okay. Well, I don't have it, and, I only come here like once a year, so, I'd have those people, and then I'd have other people who are like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go ahead. And, I sign them up, and then every once in a while, you get that person, I don't give a shit, just do this. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you have a sign up that says it's this price. Correct.
With the savings card, you illiterate dumbass.
No, I put it correct. That's what the sign says. Well, why isn't it showing up here? Did you put in your rewards number like the sign said to? When I asked you for it, did you go ahead and you give me the number so that way I could put it in for you? No, you didn't. So, do you want to give me your phone number so I can put in the rewards? Do you want to scan your little thingy, your little key fob thingy, so that way you can get the rewards? Or do you want to stand there and yell at me for you not wanting to read? And I said that to one person, and my boss was right around the corner, and he came out, and he's like, dude. I'm like, what? I got tired of hearing him bitch. He goes, yeah, but you could have put it nicer. I'm like, I could have. You are absolutely correct, sir. So why didn't you? They didn't deserve it.
Is that the same ass hat that
No.
was... No, I'm talking about the customer.
Oh.
Was that the same ass hat that got all pissed off and was already cursing at you the minute they walked in the door?
Nope. So the story that I told you was the first location I was at. With you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Suave.
Mm-hmm.
The person who yelled at me from the second they walked in was at the last location I was at before all that bullshit happened.
Yeah.
So, and that person who came in and they weren't cussing at me at first. They started cussing at one of my guys, which that point I was an assistant manager. I was running the store. I told my store manager, who had not been home for an extended period of time, to go home because I liked her. I cared about her. And so she went home, and so I was like, I got this. And then the other assistant manager is going to be coming in, so we got today. It's all good. And then that guy, so she leaves. It's gone for maybe 20 minutes, and then he comes in, starts yelling at one of my guys. And so
I remember hearing about this.
I'm on the register right next to him, and he is screaming at the top of his lungs at this guy who's maybe 3 feet in front of him. And so he turns and looks at the guy's like, I want to talk to your manager. And I just turn, and I have one of those saccharine, sickly sweet smiles on my face. I'm like, I'm the manager.
Yeah.
I'll be right with you. Well, you need to hurry up. Ma'am, would you like this done correctly, or would you like it done incorrectly? Well, I want it done right. So, and I turned and I looked at him like, so for me to be able to do this correctly, I need to go ahead and take my time with it. So stand over at an empty register and wait. And I have a customer service voice. Like I can put on a customer service voice, and it's scary at times.
Spot on.
It's scary at times because I had a buddy of mine come in, and he was checking out. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey dude, how's it going? What's going on?" Phone rings, and I pick it up, and I'm like, "Thank you for calling the auto parts store. My name is Zachary. How can I help you?" And he looks at me like, and he's just silent. And so I finish helping him out, and I turn and look at him like, well, that was annoying. He's like, how, what, and I'm like, so I put on
That's funny.
So when I dropped the customer service voice, when I told him to move, that kind of like jolted him a little bit. And he's like, fine, walks over. So I go ahead and I get done. I wrap up with the customer I'm at. And I walk over to him like, so what seems to be the issue? And he starts ripping into me like, you sell some shitty ass products, that. I'm like, okay, what were you using it for? Well, I was trying to do this. Okay, is that what it's meant to be used for? No. So how is it the product's fault that you were using it incorrectly, sir? Well, you're going to give me my money back. There are 2 problems with that. There are 3 problems with that actually now, sir. Oh, yeah? 1, it's broke. 2, you don't have the original packaging. And number 3, and most importantly, you don't have the receipt. So, you can either take this item and leave. You can continue to throw a fit, and then I call the police and get you trespassed from here. Or, you can do what your fist is trying to do and swing on me and find out what happens. And I am not, like, my temper, my hold over my temper has gotten a lot better from when I was younger. But I don't get it twisted. Like, you come at me a certain way, I'm going to come at you the same way. You want to threaten violence upon me? Cool.
I call it matching their energy.
Oh, yeah. And I'm really good at that. And he starts cussing and all that and the other thing. And I just pick up the phone and I start dialing the non-emergency number. And he sees that I'm dialing. He goes, well, you calling the cops now? Yep. I told you that's what I was going to do. Well, I want to talk to your manager. She's gone for the day. However, if you go ahead and you get the number off of the front window, you can give her a call in the morning. Well, where is it? You can read the number outside my store. So he walks outside and he gets the number and then he goes over to the trash can and starts rummaging through it, tossing trash everywhere. Finds the packaging and he's like, I found the packaging. I'm like, I don't care. You're out. Leave. And so I come in the next day and my manager comes up to me. She goes, so what happened? And I explained everything that happened to her, that happened. And she knew at that, like, exactly how I operate. Like, I make it no sort of, like, I don't hide this. This is how I am. This is how I do things. I'm going to do things to protect my people. If I'm in charge of a shift, guess what? Everybody who's in that store, who's an employee, is my people. I may not like them. I may not agree with them. I may have issues with them. They're still my responsibility. Therefore, they are my people, and nobody gets to fuck with my people but me. And so I tell her what's going on, or I told her what was going on, and she goes, okay. Well, just to let you know, he went ahead and reached out to Billy, too. So Billy's going to, the district manager is going to be swinging by, and, Billy's going to want to talk to you. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
A couple hours later, Billy comes in. He's like, hey, man, you got a minute? Let's go outside and talk. All right, boss. Walk outside, let him know what happened. He goes, did you really have to threaten to beat his ass? I'm like, he was coming at me sideways. He wants to swing on me, fine. He gets one shot. If he does not knock me out, he's getting tossed out unconscious. And I got plenty of stuff to hit him upside the head with. He goes, you realize that you would have been fired, right? I'm like, uh-huh. But you know what else wouldn't have happened?
My people getting hurt.
Exactly. And so he's just like, all right, well, just be careful and maybe be a little more, open. I'm like, I was plenty open. You know me, Billy. You've watched me work. I am always up for having a conversation. But when you come at me sideways, or you come at my people sideways, or you come in and you start like threatening people, or, saying that you're going to beat someone's ass if they don't do what you want, and yada, 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 yada. Zach don't play those games. And he's like, all right. And then, like, never saw that guy again. Can tell you that much.
My favorite from that store was the guy who came in with obviously stolen headlights. And then he got pissed off because you wouldn't return them, and he stormed out. He goes, I'll just go to another one. And you started calling every single one in the area.
No. Let me make a correction to that. That wasn't at that last store. That was at the store before that.
County Line and Holly?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And I went ahead and I made sure to call every store
From here to the border.
in the 20-mile radius to let them know what was going on.
And I
he
think those
showed
stores...
up at one of those stores to try to do it. It was at the kid's dad's store.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I heard about you." And he turned around and walked away. Then he decided he was going to show up after I had moved to the last store. And he comes walking in, and I hear him saying something to one of my guys. And he's like, "Yeah, I got to return, and I don't have my receipt on me." He's like, "Well, I got to get my manager for that." And he goes, "Hey, can you come out here?" And I come walking out. I'm like, "Hi." And he saw me, and I was like, "So I'm going to take these." Because he put his bag on the counter. And I walked right up. I snatched the bag, and I'm like, "So I'm going to take these."
Because it wasn't even an O'Reilly's bag. It was like an old ratted up freaking...
It was just a regular, clear, like
plastic
a
bag.
white plastic bag. He's like, "Well, you can't take those. Those are mine." I'm like, "Really?" So I'm not going to go into my system and see how many I should have and then go ahead and count and see how many are missing, and that exact number is not going to show up in your bag, right? So here's the options. Get out or stay.
Get out.
Or stay. And you get to get out with a pair of new bracelets.
Shiny titanium bracelets.
And he bolted. All but bolted out the store.
He ran into the door because remember that one door, the one side of that double door
like, it was late at
was
night.
Locked.
It was late at night, and so I always locked one side of the doors
for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And he went face first into it. And I think you left that window dirty on purpose so that your store manager could see that shit.
She
in
saw
the
it.
morning.
She goes, "What is this?" I'm like,
She
"Oh."
Remember, she put the masking tape frame around it.
It's like, "Let me illuminate you on what happened." And
it's been 0 days since morons came in.
I told her what had happened and everything before that, and she's sitting on the chair in the back, and she's about on the floor by the time I'm done because she is laughing that hard.
I remember coming in because that was shortly before the car show, and there was a masking tape frame up around it, and nobody
you were bringing me something.
Nobody was allowed to clean that part of the window because she put a frame around that shit. I'm just like, "Oh my god, that's great." I was like, "Is this the?" And you're like, "Yep." I was like, "Did she really?" Yep. Oh man, I remember that. And I remember she broke the wheel on her office chair because she almost did fall on the floor. So she said, "Fuck it," took the office chair home and then had the wheels sawed off.
Yep. She tried to do it at the store. Yeah,
it didn't quite work out all that well.
No.
I was on the phone with you and all I hear is, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah. So I found one that I want to read.
Okay.
Quick.
You can read that one. Gives me a chance to gather my brain function.
Yep. So this one's called "Pretend the Lot is Full."
Okay.
Many decades ago, when I was a student enrolled in driving school, the instructor told me to pretend the lot is full and park the car. It was very early in the morning, so the shopping mall lot where we were practicing parking was empty. I knew the pretend it's full part was meant to emphasize the importance of driving slowly and cautiously and centering the car between the lines, but my teenage brain couldn't resist the obvious opportunity for malicious compliance. I slowly drove up and down the lanes and around the lot for at least 5 minutes before the instructor finally got flustered and barked, "What are you waiting for? Park the car." "You told me to pretend the lot is full."
How did I know that was coming?
I give the instructor full props for accepting the malicious compliance humor of the moment as I watched him shake his head while his expression morphed from anger through realization and into a smiling instruction to just park the car.
Guarantee you that kid passed with flying colors.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because if they didn't pass, that is bullshit.
So I have kind of a story that kind of goes along with the pretend the lot is full type deal. It's when I was working at a certain fast food taco place.
Okay.
So one of the bigwigs from corporate had been making his rounds and just so happened to come by my store. And one of my newer, less experienced workers, my 16-year-old girl that I had hired for a specific purpose.
Okay.
She was working the drive-thru, and that was the first time she had worked the drive-thru by herself.
Right.
And I told her, today is your day. This is your drive-thru. Don't take shit from nobody.
Right.
Because I quite literally ran a very tight ship when it came to, you're not going to act that way and be a customer of mine.
Yeah.
I would not deal with it.
You practice the
FAFO.
while the customer who comes up, the customer's always right.
No,
That's
the
fine.
customer's a moron.
That's fine. I reserve the right to refuse service. And you practice that.
Oh, on a daily basis. But no, and she was doing really good. I was very proud of her. She had been doing really good all day. She started getting a little nervous and a little flustered when the corporate office guy was there. So I walked over to her and I was like, hey, pretend he's not here. And if he's in your way, still pretend he's not here. Because I told him, do not come during my rush hours.
Yeah.
Because
it sucks trying to work around somebody during the rush hour.
Exactly. Especially seeming how that was the smallest store in the district. I was like, do not come during my rush hours. He came during my rush hours. I looked at her, I was like, hey. When she caught a break for a second, I was like, hey, pretend he's not here. And if you're busy, still pretend he's not here. Okay? And she goes, okay. He was standing between her and the drink machine. He had stepped out of her way on the way to the drink machine to grab the sodas, but did not step out of the way with his nice white Armani jacket.
And so when she turned, she hit him with the drinks and they exploded.
Strawberry Frutista Freeze.
Yep.
And let me tell you, those bitches stain marble countertops.
Oh, yeah.
And that's damn near impossible to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a bloodbath if you drop one of those bags. I did that on purpose. It was expired. Anyway, so yeah, she was like, I really wasn't meaning to do that, but it works. Now he's leaving.
Yeah.
And then I got a email that says, while we would love to be able to make it to all of our stores, these stores are now on the exempt list and will not be visited due to their time constraints and size. Number 1.
Your store.
That is all. Quite literally, I was the entirety of the email. That my store was what it was about. And I had store managers and other district managers calling me, and my district manager calling me laughing, asking me what the hell happened, and I told them, and they're like, huh, sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
And I think for a full year, corporate did not visit any stores.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was great.
So you have one last story, and I have found a story.
Sweet.
So.
Okay.
I want to make sure that my story isn't the same as your story. So what is your story called?
Stay until it's done.
Okay. Nope, not mine.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
So mine is called No Shorts Allowed in This Heat? Sure. My office has quite a casual dress code policy and in general kind of chill about what we wear. However, we are not allowed to wear shorts. So in the UK here, we get about 5 hot days a year that we get to enjoy or endure. One of my colleagues got an HR email a while ago for wearing shorts in the office. He has great legs, who could blame him, when the weather was sweltering. The women in the office wear short skirts and dresses and showing shoulders all the time without batting any bat of the eye, and yay for them. But somehow shorts in men are just no. Oh well, I'm not commuting in the 30 plus degrees Celsius in jeans. I am very proudly queer, but I have never worn a skirt before. But I bought some fabulous skirts and wore them twice to work since. Once just to a regular office day, and then last Friday when we had a summer party. No one has spoken to me about my wardrobe choice yet, but my legs were so free. Some male colleagues told me that they are inspired and we might see more skirts in the office when it gets warm again. Edit. Yes, I know kilts are a thing, but they're heavy and woolly and absolutely wouldn't be nice in the heat. Edit again. Whoa, so many updates and replies. I have posted a picture of me in my skirts in my profile if you're interested. Edit again. Yes, I did buy myself a utility kilt. Kinda excited to receive it. Thanks for the suggestion. Now, that is hysterical. And I'm trying to see if... Yep, they did. And I will say, he looks fabulous. Like, there's one of the pictures.
That is awesome.
And then, because he posted 2, there's the other one.
Hell yeah.
He looks great.
Let's do it. If you want, if they are going to be asinine about letting people wear shorts, like the company we work for, you can't wear shorts in the summertime.
Well, we can't wear shorts, period.
Last year, I was miserable.
I've been miserable this year. And we have a very strict...
And I work overnights.
I've been forced to work overnights.
Yeah. It'd be worse for you if you were on your regular shift.
It was pretty bad before we even started. Because I came in at the tail end of summer / into fall when I started over there.
Yep.
And I'm not happy.
No. I had sweaty balls and I don't have balls. Mine sit higher.
But no, it's like here's the biggest issue that I have with some of these places, and they're like, well, you can't wear shorts. Okay, then everyone needs to wear pantsuits, or everyone needs to be have their legs covered, because if guys aren't allowed to wear shorts because they're unprofessional, then fine.
Women shouldn't be allowed to wear skirts.
No, I'll do this. Fine, I will find a pair of khakis. Or what are the capris? I'll find a pair of capris and I'll wear those because those are allowed, right? I would totally be one of those people who, I'm not allowed to wear shorts, but there are dresses or skirts allowed. I will rock a skirt. Granted, I'll get a long enough one, but I'll still rock one. I'll call it my man skirt. I wouldn't call it a kilt.
I could just see you doing that at the job we have now.
Like if it's gonna be fair and if we're gonna have policies in place, fine. I'm going to follow the policy.
Well, my favorite supervisor said when she first started with the company, shorts weren't allowed, but skirts were, and there were a couple of men that showed up in skirts, and then no longer were skirts allowed either.
Yeah, I would have done it.
You know who one of the first people that was newer that did it? Your least favorite supervisor. The one you work with most of the time now.
Yeah, I
He
can
wore
see
a
it.
long skirt.
I can see him doing that.
He did that in New York too.
I wouldn't say he's not my least favorite.
He's
I may
your
not
least
agree with
favorite.
some of what he says, but he's a boss. I really don't have any favorite bosses. Like I have ones that I would prefer to work with, but whoever's there is okay.
Yeah, I'm.
Correction. I had one favorite boss, and he's no longer at the location. He
Yeah,
got
'cause
promoted.
to customer.
No, he got promoted to trainer of the entire state.
Oh yeah.
Because that part is still technically has security officers from the company. It's still the same company.
Yeah, he made a lateral promotion.
It is a straight promotion. Anyways,
But yeah, it's like I could see some of the supervisors now doing some shit. Like there's one that already, I swear to God, he does makeup.
yeah. Yeah,
He's
I
a
know.
full fabulous beard.
I know
and rosy
exactly.
cheeks.
Yep. I don't know, so I'm not going to assume, nor am I going to guess.
I walked in one day and he was putting on chapstick and he didn't know it was tinted chapstick.
All right.
And that was the day after he yelled at me.
Anyways.
Oh,
Anyways. So,
Anyway.
no, I would totally, like, I've been at places where they're like, well, this is a strict policy, you need to follow this. Okay. And I will fully admit, I went looking for certain pieces of an outfit to still fall within policy, but not adhere only to one part of that policy. But
yeah. Still funny.
there was one story I read and I can't remember, but it was this bigger dude working at a convenience store, and this girl came in. One of his coworkers came in. She was wearing leggings, and somebody had said something, and so she had something said to her, and he showed up the next day in a set of leggings,
That's hysterical.
and they're all like, "Oh no, maybe not." Oh, she wasn't supposed to show up in leggings, and she did anyways, had nothing said to her. So he showed up the next day in leggings, and all of a sudden, within 24 hours of that happening, there was a policy change saying you're not allowed to wear leggings as your work uniform.
Yeah, I could see that going so wrong with a guy.
Anyways, your last story, if you would.
Okay, give me a second to unlock my phone. It says, stay until it's done? Okay, I'm doing it by the book then, and getting an extra day off. Uh-oh, I may be in trouble here. I used to work as a supervisor in my last job and was directly working with a union. Some of my managers really didn't want to deal with things when it came to workplace injuries, so I had to deal with most of them. If you have worked with a union before, this is a very long and time-consuming process. While important, very tedious. So that brings us to that one evening. I was on my second double in a row of 3 and very much ready to go home. As I wrapped up my area, my evening manager texted me to assist another supervisor with an injury. The supervisor was newer and needed to be taught. I informed them I was already there on a double and I needed to come back in the morning, and was there anyone else or could they help them? This manager, who is notorious for passing their work on to others, he texted me no, and I had to stay until it was done. Okay, I have written documentation of a directive. Who am I to say no? I guess because I got it in a text.
I love those ones. It's like, you're going to give me enough rope that you're going to hang yourself with.
Yep. All right. Well, then, since I'm teaching, I'm going by the book. I opened up the union and company policy on workplace incidents and followed it step by step. By the time we got to the drug test portion, the local clinic we used was closed and we needed to call it in. This is important because if you don't use the local clinic, the out of the area one takes 4+ hours to come out.
Oh, jeez.
While that was processing, I did a lengthy investigation with the union. I spent the entire night going by the book, taking pictures, and documenting everything I could. By the time I finished and the drug test was finished, it was 7 a.m. and my shift started in 30 minutes. This is the time the morning manager came in. They're one of my favorites and why I pick up mornings all the time. When she saw me and said, "Oh, you're here early," I said, "I never left." Her face dropped because they have a rule that while management, including supervisors, can work more than 16 hours, if they work more than 20 hours, they needed a 24-hour rest. I wasn't in the union, but still hourly salaried. I have no idea. And got OT over 8 hours in a day. So not only was I going to not be able to make my morning shift, I couldn't make my evening shift either. I was still going to be paid for both while being sent home. She asked me who told me to do this, and I showed her the message from the evening manager telling me to stay until it is finished. I went home and enjoyed my extra day off into the weekend. When I came back, I had an interview about the incident with the senior manager. After showing my messages, which the manager tried to delete but only did on his side, I was dismissed without any issues. The manager was written up by the senior manager, and they had to pay me my 2 regular shifts plus 24 hours of overtime. Needless to say, I stopped picking up after that, no matter what and no matter how much they begged. Edit. Message to message, and this is a throwaway. I don't know. Massage to message. I think they meant to edit it. Edit 2. I may be good with the union rules, but apparently bad at spelling and grammar. Thank you for all the help.
Oh,
so he was correcting grammar.
He was misspelling it.
That's why I was reading how I thought it was supposed to be. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a me move, because I've worked in a grocery store. And I've also worked in a place where we just talked about at the beginning, the 36-hour shift.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I am not I understand why unions are important, and I'm never going to deny that, right? Unions are important to get fair rights and all that.
We've had those discussions.
I, however, am not comfortable with joining a union, and I've had a job before where they were like, well, in order to work here, you have to join this union. And I was like, okay, then I'm not working here. And I don't know. It's just, it gives me a weird feeling, a weird taste in the back of my throat. When you're, told that this is what you have to do, otherwise you can't do this. And it's like, okay, well, fine. Find somebody else then. But like I said, I can understand why they are important, and I will support unions in their work. I just may not join one, But I've had those bosses where they're like, well, you need to do this. I don't need, this is a you job, boss. Well, you're experienced, you know how to do this. Just because I know how to do it doesn't mean that it's my responsibility to. Are you paying me more to have this responsibility? Well, no, but it's part of your job description. Show me where. I want you to highlight, I'm going to print off my job description, highlight the area where it says, I have to do your job for you. And they'd get pissy with me. And well, I guess you're just not committed. What part of me being here for money is saying that I'm committed?
I especially like with the company we work for right now, like they just expect us, hey, I need you to go cover over here. Okay, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, it's gotten to a point now where it's just like, there have been a few times where I've gotten calls, from work, and they're like, hey, We need you to come in.
Only because I'm on FMLA.
Just no.
I'm on a leave of absence, unpaid currently, until they figure out how to get their heads out of their asses. But yeah, I'm on leave right now, so they are trying to cover my shifts, and it's quite hysterical when they try to message you and, hey, can you cover over at West on a Saturday night? No.
But like it's gotten to a point
I'm
where,
sorry, I didn't get your message till it was too late.
Yeah, it's gotten to a point where I just don't answer. Like they try to call me, I don't answer. They try to message me, I will leave that soundbitch on unread. I'll take a look at my phone, I'll see the message, I won't answer it, I won't interact with it, nothing. And then 8 hours later, I go ahead and I hit the red button and I send a message, oh, I just got this. I wasn't in, I've been out of town.
Or my personal favorite, leaving them on red, period.
The other thing.
You can see that I saw it, but I ain't answering you.
The other thing that I've done has been, they've called, I've had a job, not this job, but I've had a job call me. They're like, hey, we really need you to come in. Why? Well, we need you to pick up a shift. Why? Well, because this person has called out. Okay. So we need you to cover it. Why? Because
that sounds like a you problem.
Because it needs to be taken care of. Are you there right now? Yeah. Why can't you not take care of it? Well, I did it. Cool. Click. And I've hung up on people before.
I've been here 10 hours already. You're a manager. That's your job.
Yeah. But it's just like once again, I would just go back to what I had said earlier. A lot of older people, older than us, are of the mindset of, well, if you're not doing this, if you're not willing to do this for your job, then, it just shows that young people just don't want to work. It's not that we don't want to work.
We don't want to be burnt the fuck out.
We're getting burnt out, and we know what we are worth. And if you're not willing to go up to the level that we are worth, then I don't want to do anything for you. I'm not taking time out of my schedule that I have plans on, or even if I don't have plans on, I have plans to sleep and catch up on stuff that I wasn't able to because I've been at this place. I'm not giving that up because of your inability to plan. Like, it's going to be funny to find out what happens on Monday.
You mean their failure to plan for my vacation?
Their failure to plan for
that was funny.
Monday is the big thing. Because come Monday, if they haven't figured something out, boss, he's going to be there by himself.
Yeah.
And if they think they're calling me, you need to come in. I don't need to do shit. It is my day off. We need you to cover. No.
I've already gotten texts from the morning manager that we like more than the bearded one.
Okay.
And I've gotten a message from said bearded one. Oh, wait. I've gotten messages from all three supervisors since I've been out asking if I know when I'm coming back.
Well, yeah, because they need people. That's the problem.
So, sort of not my problem. Because whereas this did not occur at work did certainly contribute to the downfall.
Yep.
So
it's just like we're tired. I come home and I can get like 7-8 hours of sleep. And I wake up
and want to go right back to sleep.
And I look at you and I'm like, "Can I just call out and just go back to bed?" And you're like, "No, you can't do that." Fine.
Not right now with both of us, you being the only one working. Well, you're the only one getting paid.
But it's like, I don't know. I can't do it anymore. Like, there's a reason why they try to call me and I just don't answer. I will purposely silent. I won't send them to voicemail right away.
I can guarantee you, boss, on Monday, if they haven't found a solution, is going to be calling you.
Oh, he can try. He can call me. Guess what I'm not doing? Answering.
Oh,
I won't send them the voicemail. I will let it ring out.
Oh, I can guarantee you, if they try to talk me into coming back, we'll follow your restrictions. You're going to regret saying that because there's only one spot that I can go, and that means but it doesn't mean I can do all of what's at that position.
Well, that's the thing.
And that's
like,
metal detector.
I know that's where you would be at, and I know that for a fact.
Oh, no, I can't lift over 5 pounds.
Stop and listen. Because the last time it was just me and him, I was up at metal detector for the entire 12-hour shift while he was back on patient watch for the entire 12-hour shift.
He hates metal detector.
He had to be back there because we need somebody at metal detector. And if there was any sort of, like, we had trucks come in that had, that called him to get access to the dock, unlocks, lock out the building, all that kind of stuff. He needs to be able to get up and go to those, and he can always let one of the nurses know, hey, I have to go do this. You need to watch your patient.
Yep. And the thing is like, he hates metal detector. I'll give you that little tidbit right now. Yeah. He hates metal detector.
But yeah, so I was up at metal detector the entire time, and he was sitting back on watch, and he's just like, you can tell he was getting like antsy. Like he wanted to get up and walk around, and he just couldn't. And then those times where I called back to him, like typically it takes like 5-10 minutes, or it takes. There's a moment of hesitation when you call back for him, like, hey, boss. And there'll be a pause, a very pregnant pause, and then he'll answer it. That night, the second that radio clicked, I was watching him on the cameras. His hand was on the radio, bringing it up and waiting for me to stop talking. He's like, all right, got it. And he'd get up and start moving. Man has ADHD and needs to be walking around.
He also has a nicotine or lack of nicotine problem.
Well, no, that's why he has those Zen packets. He keeps them on him.
Oh, he keeps them on him, but they don't work for him.
Anyways.
No,
he had bumped up his dosage. So he's not getting the 3s or the 6s. He's on 8s.
Yeah, that still don't work for him.
Anyways.
But no, like, if they were to try to be like, hey, can you come back, or da-da-da-da, only if I'm at metal detector, and that still doesn't mean I can do everything.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do any of the pregnant people bringing in suitcases.
I wouldn't be able to do searches, period, unless I could pull them off the thing and sit it on the desk in front of me.
Yeah.
And that's very few and far between because I'm not allowed to get up and down.
Yeah.
And I have to use my walker. And I am not allowed to lift over, push, pull, drag, or lift over 5 pounds.
All right.
So, yeah.
But, anyways, I think that's a good spot to call it.
Woo!
So, thank y'all so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you're listening to us on Spotify and you want to show Spotify that, hey, we like what we're hearing, we want to hear more of it, hit the download button. It gets back to them, they get back to us, and everything goes better. In the description, if you want to donate to the show, there is a link down in the description. We're not saying that you have to, but any money that does come in goes right back into the show because we want to make it better. We want to make sure that we're putting out a decent or a great quality of content for you guys. It's always appreciated. Once again, we're not asking or telling you to do this. If you're able to, please do.
We are not, once again, asking for your financial contribution.
All right, Bernie, that's enough out of you. But anyways, thank y'all so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to love each other. And as always,
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Bye.
Bye.